Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Happy Friday, or as I like to say, Fry. Yay! And Wrigley is here. He's about to leave to go golfing, but he wanted to say hi to everybody real quick before he goes, since I'm live and he's around. How is everybody? Oh, Dr. Lupo's here. Oh my gosh, it's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Brianna's here. Yeah, it never notifies a lot of people. Weirdly enough, though, it'll notify me that I'm live, and I'm like, okay, I get it, but awesome. I don't know if this lighting doing this weird. Yeah, I think it's this lighting doing almost this like stroby kind of. Can you see it?
Turn it off.
I don't know. Let's just turn it that way.
Do you like it off?
I don't know. Off is probably better for now. Justina's here. Hello, and Canary. Welcome, everybody.
Do you know this person?
Dr. Lupo would love a reading. Awesome.
Do you know this person?
Okay. Anyway, yeah, today we are going to be doing a free 1 to 2 card pull, depending how that rolls, for everybody who's here for about the first 20 minutes or so.
I pick really good cards.
Yeah, he picks good cards.
I'm better than her.
Probably. And then after that, so basically we're going to do a free 1 card pull for everybody who wants one within about a 20-minute range. If we run out before then, we can jump right into, the donation readings, which we already have 2. It looks like, yes, 1 came through from Karen, aka Dr. Lupo, aka Lupo's Carvings and Crafts. And well, we do have 1 from Katie as well. Let's see. So that's going to be our list so far. Oops, I better click here.
I'm going to go soon. Can I pick one?
Okay, so Katie. Oh, don't look at those right now. I will check my messages later.
No, it says Josh Focus.
Okay, well, we can look at 21 Pilots news later. Let me see my phone. You can't just take off with it. Okay, done. Okay.
Like that.
Wrigley, stop. Katie, and then okay, getting everybody on the list here. Okay, there we go. So this is current lineup, but first we are going to be doing the free 1 card pull. And today it says we have 4 people here right now. So put a 444 in the chat.
Oh, Versus here.
Yeah, Versus here. Hello. Yeah, he's big now. He's gonna be 11 in what? November. I'm like, wait a second. When's my kid's birthday?
November 19th, 2014.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 11.
All right. So here we go. 444. We have 1 for Versha. Okay.
Oh, bad.
Okay.
This one. Healing.
Oh, look at this with the number 21 with healing. That adds up to a 3, which can be about combining efforts or combining forces or creativity. There's a passion behind this, but healing. This woman is looking like she's been through some ish, right? But she is prepared to move forward and peel away what's no longer working. So this could be something that is just coming up spontaneously almost, and it's just peeling away something that doesn't need to be there anymore is really what's coming through.
All right, I need this one.
Brianna. All right, Brianna. Go ahead and pick Brianna's in alignment with her true spirit. I guess Brianna gets 2. He wanted to pick 2 for you, so there it is.
Patience.
All right, with the number 23, and then with the number 33, and this is just about that creative life force energy, and whichever way you want to wield that, it doesn't have to be, explicitly, it can be just that use of that creative life force energy from the sacral chakra. But there is this element of patience, and then there's a skipping. So it's almost like a quantum leaping from the 23 to the 33. So it's like moving by tens is what this looks like. So, and it's very interesting here. She's at the well. Well, the maidens used to guard the wells, and that would be what would, be determining the fertility of the land. And when the wells dry up, because of the mistreatment of the well maidens and the, pillaging and SAing and, all the things that have happened to the well maidens, the wells dried up and things became desolate. But this is like a bringing back of that vital life force energy, of, the wellspring of life from your sacred feminine that is starting to flow. It's really beautiful. Oh, Brianna says, oh man, this is so in alignment with how I woke up. I downloaded quite a bit this morning and about tough love, and I'm about to get engaged. Sigh. Thanks, Wrigley and Amanda. Oh, you're so welcome. Amazing. I love it. Oh my God. Too funny. All right, Justina has donated for a 1 card. We'll get into that for her after we do this, but let's get into Dr. Lupo. Let's get a card for him, and then Justina's on deck, followed by Canary. All right, here we go.
I'll pick it. Oh God, I gotta go. This was my last 2. You get 2. Okay.
Okay. So Dr. Lupo gets 2 as well. Help from above and cycles. And it's very interesting. There is going to be, and I've been feeling this as like a collective, not just like, hive mind, robotic collective. I'm talking like the spiritual collective, people with a true spirit. What are you doing to my chat? Leave it.
No, I want to do one for Koshfi.
Okay, well, you're going to have to wait.
I know.
Okay,
I gotta go.
Okay, well, then you got to go. You'll be back.
I'll pick 2, okay?
You'll be back. Okay, I'll see you later, bro. Oh my gosh. Stop. So what I'm really drawn to here in this card is just the rising waters. There's been a lot of that, but with the collective, there's, again, not just the hive mind collective, but the spiritual collective. There is a strengthening of the help from your true spirit, from, the true divinity, not all these, I don't know, false gods, false light, false whatever. This is from true organic spark of spirit coming through to close these old, just nefarious cycles that you've been caught up in. This very much is a collective message, but this is also letting you know that some of these cycles you've been through, even potentially like financially or with just like how to survive in this system as a cog in the machine, or as like more of a ghost in the machine, like, okay, I'm in the world but not of it, and you closing out certain cycles that you never have to go back from that, because you are really tuning more into your divine true spirit to bring forward that spiritual essence, to where it's almost like you're bypassing a lot of just the nastiness that's going on in the more collective. So that's what's coming through for Lupo. Carvings and crafts. Have to get used to the new name. Justina, let's get you a 1 card pull here for Justina. All right. Ooh, we have self-sabotage with the number 2. And I'm really seeing the messages that are coming through today are things that are elevating or improving or leveling up in some way. So this may be potential for you to self-sabotage your goals, your relationships, your potential to earn money, just whatever is resonating specifically for you, or if it's kind of a lot of different things. You're closing out these cycles where you are sabotaging yourself. And it's not even that you personally, Justina, are sabotaging yourself. It's just listening to the entities that are in your field or have hooked into your consciousness or your awareness or your thought process that you think is your thought process. But it's actually a lot of times just external entities, matrix tricksters, as I like to call them, that will get involved with your thoughts, that will implant negative thoughts that you'll then, people that thought, we thought spirals sometimes. And it, even just my dog down there barking, like trying to distract. That's one of the big ways that we can self-sabotage without knowing. And you maybe just have become distracted from your path or from a goal, from a desire, from something that is in your highest good. And it's just easier to, eat the bad food or hang out with the bad friend or, whatever the case may be. It just feels like the more well-worn path, but instead you're stepping more into where you're overcoming self-sabotage, you're overcoming taking the cheapest or most convenient availability to move forward, and instead you're like maybe delayed gratification or deciding to just again, maybe you're just spending more money to do something that is going to be more in alignment or more of quality for you. So there's this element of overcoming past ways of operating where, searching out just the quickest or the cheapest or the whatever, and instead you're investing in yourself with time, with quality, with things that are going to sustain and be beneficial to you, rather than feeling like they're taking away from you, or you're having to sacrifice one part of your life to get this, kind of temporary high, for lack of a better word. Not that it's, drug related, but temporary high of like a dopamine fix just to get that almost instant gratification. So you're kind of overcoming those cycles, is what this looks like. All right, Canary. Let's get you some cards, Canary, or a card, whatever needs to come through. We have here sexuality. And again, it doesn't have to be overtly, that act of sexuality. This is more about the energy behind sexuality, which is the sacral chakra, which is the orange. It's the womb energy, the womb portal. And as a feminine energy, you can tune into this and draw from that energy, from the divine, from the other side. It's bringing that manifestation, creation ability into your life to be able to create stability with the number 4 here, to create stability in a creative endeavor, a passion project, a goal, a job, a relationship, just being that artist of the canvas of your own life and really tweaking it and twerking it, as I like to say, to make it actually in alignment with what your spirit wants to explore and experience. So there's a lot of good things coming through as far as you being able to create more long-term stability. Maybe it doesn't come all at once for you, Canary, but it's coming little by little. And the more that you invest in cultivating your divine feminine womb portal energy, and bringing that and grounding that into the 3D world here, or reality here, you're going to see the benefits or be able to reap the rewards of that energy and investment. All right. Michelle, welcome, Michelle. Good to see you, my dear. All right. Okay. Here we go. Michelle, hole in the soul. So it's like something is missing. There's a piece that you are, it's not like it's lost. It's there. It's just buried under other programming or other stuff. And it's more about, what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is almost like an overcluttered closet. And you look in there, specifically like clothing closet. Maybe there's some accessories, purses, shoes, whatever, also in this closet, this metaphorical closet. But what I see is you not being able to find that thing to wear to that event, or something that you feel really good in. But it's like you start pulling out, okay, I no longer resonate with this bag. These shoes, they're really uncomfortable. I'm not going there anymore. That pair of jeans is way too big. Let's pull. And you're just pulling out things that just aren't in alignment. It's not even about looking for what's in alignment in that closet. It's more about pulling out what you already know, just intuitively, or just from the way you feel when you look at it or touch it. You're pulling it out like, yeah, that's not for me anymore. And we can take this on a more metaphorical way for you, is like as far as limiting beliefs or thought processes, or just the feeling you get when you're around certain people and you're realizing, okay, that's not for me anymore. That's not for me anymore. I'm going to pass this pair of jeans on, or whatever it is. And as you start to take away what's not you, or what doesn't resonate anymore, that's when you start to get into alignment with what is you, what is for you. And we have the number 36 here, which adds up to a 9. So there is a closing of a cycle where something I just heard, I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. And isn't that part of the song Amazing Grace? I think it is, if I'm remembering correctly. What this, and I apologize, you guys, if you can hear my dog. I don't know what she is on about right now. They left, so she should be fine. But she's acting like she's just so beaten and abused down there for whatever reason. She's in the crate, so it's not like she's hurt or anything like that. That's her let me out of here. I don't want to be in here bark, and she has to be in there. So but this closing out of a cycle so that you can step into, again, not a new version of you, because this version of you has been there all along, Michelle. It's just been kind of buried or kind of boxed in by false versions of you or false selves or not you versions that have kind of had to step forward or survive or go out there and meet people and make the money and do the things, and you're just kind of saying no, moving forward. And it doesn't have to be this one fell swoop of I'm getting rid of everything that doesn't align. It feels like a process, but you're well on your way in this process. But the more that you start to realize what's not you, what doesn't resonate anymore, and you kind of slough it off or pull it away without having to make up a story or find a story or a reason or do a bunch of like really focusing in on it, you can just allow it to flow away from you. That's when you can really get into alignment what is meant for you. All right, so that was for Michelle. All right, for Kashvi, let's get Kashvi. Oh my God, I did some healing meditation today, and the not getting the clothes came up again, and to deal and face. Oh. All right, for Kashvi, in alignment with Kashvi's true spirit. Wrigley did say to pull her too, and I accidentally, I pulled this one, and then these two came out together, so I technically pulled three. So we have here, say what you mean. So this is about speaking her mind, your mind, Kashvi, but without actually being mean. So this is saying what you mean. What is it your heart is telling you to tell someone else, speaking that out, but in a way that is nice, that is, not like, oh, you have to be nice and skate around your emotions. I don't mean it like that. You can still express your emotions or your desire or to tell someone what you mean without, having an attitude about it or getting snarky or rude about it, I guess would be the way to go about that, explaining this. But there's a new cycle where you're going to be able to express yourself in a way that the people you're expressing yourself to aren't going to feel attacked or you feel attacked by them because you expressed yourself. There's a shift, there's a cycle shift here. And then we have the tribe and family card and the selling out card. And when someone's selling out, that means they are acting out of alignment with who they know themselves to be so that they can fit in or gain something. And when we have here the tribe and family and tribe card, this is letting you know that you don't have to be a false version of yourself to be part of a tribe or a family. You're just in it and loved and cared for on a fundamental level just because you exist. It's not because you're good at math or because you did this thing good or you listened really good and your reward is okay, now this person's going to love me or this person's going to accept me. No, this is about learning and discovering that you have inherent worth, which means even if you did nothing, you just sat there and blinked all day long, you are worthy of love. You are worthy of someone's care and love and time and effort and attention just for your mere existence. Not because of your accomplishments or because you cleaned your room or got an A on that math test or took whatever place at nationals for math, whatever the case may be. Just you existing makes you worthy. So that's the message really coming out here. And you're going to be able to express yourself in ways that are kind without skating around your feelings to help other people feel better about how you're feeling. All right, so that was for Kashvi. But there is a message coming through to be speaking nicer or to be, instead of reacting to something someone says, you're kind of allowing the words that they've said or the thing that they've asked you to do, whether this is your mom, your dad, your friends at school, whoever this, or someone you don't like even, instead of allowing those words to penetrate you and bend you to their will. Yes, sometimes you've got to clean your room even if you don't want to, but you can kind of almost read or feel the intent behind whoever it is you're communicating with and what they're trying to get you to do. If this is a bully trying to get you to go bully someone else, you can feel in yourself, in your heart, that's not right. But maybe your mom's asking you to clean your room or to do something. And you're like, I don't really want to do that, but I can feel the intention behind her is she's saying this so that I can be healthy and happy and have a clean room and, be eating dinner on time or whatever the case may be, to where you're actually feeling behind what someone is saying or doing or projecting rather than just at face value, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Maybe if it doesn't make sense, your mom can maybe explain in maybe better words than I've found here. All right. Okay, let me go back down. We just jumped the chat. All right, you're so welcome for the one card. Absolutely. Hey is here, aka Marlene. Let's get Marlene a card. For Marlene. Oh, you're so welcome, Canary, anytime. All right, Marlene, your card is also family and tribe, but I'm getting a slightly different message than I just got for Kashmi's message. This is more just about strengthening of the bonds of the family members that you have, and tribe can also include like, coworkers or friends, people that you care about or that care about you in your community. This can even be people you know online but have never met in person. That can be also part of your tribe. So there's a strengthening coming in, or just almost like a resonance or a confirmation that, okay, certain people are absolutely for you. They have your highest good in mind. You have their highest good in mind. And then you may also be realizing certain people in your tribe, and there may just be one. I'm not sensing that you have a lot of like snakes in the grass, or skeletons hanging from trees or anything like that. I'm seeing that you are really good already at just vetting out people and not allowing people that don't align with you to have a seat at your table, so to speak. So you've already done a lot of vetting to make sure the people in your life are there. But this could be like a random checker at a grocery store. I mean, most of them are like self-checkout now anyway, but like that person almost, when your energies cross, it's like you're mingling. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're welcoming into your tribe, welcoming them into your tribe, or vice versa, but it's almost like a vetting process of feeling their energy and realizing, okay, they either do align with me or they don't. But you're going to become even more fine-tuned and know who is for you and who is not for you. Here, I see in like the coming 3 months, this is like something you're becoming really gifted at, is just knowing not only who is for you, and who is not for you, but also what is for you and what is not for you. This could be foods, this could be things that you're watching on TV, this could be YouTube accounts or channels that you're following now that just you realize, oh wow, I'm not even at all in alignment with this person or that person or this account anymore. And you're just starting to kind of like we were talking about in Michelle's message, about just sloughing off which just not resonating as your family, your tribe, your personal little collective of belongings, or belief systems that are actually serving you, or whatever that case may be. All right. So that was for Marlene. So let's get one for S. In alignment with S's true spirit. Okay. So we have here, how teachable are you? Well, there's a cycle closing out because there's been like a doubling down. I'm always right, you're always wrong. Where S needs to realize that other people have a lot of wisdom to teach, if only he were to open up and actually listen and allow the information to penetrate. Because most of the time, it's in one ear and out the other. Like he's already got this mind made up of, no, I know better. Whatever you just said doesn't even resonate, doesn't even register, because I already know I know better than you. And this is very much ego driven. It's not from a spiritual elevation. And even if it was, like, say it was from a spiritual elevation, there wouldn't be this superiority about it that I'm getting from his energy field, if that makes sense. So this is about, like, she's got her violin here, but I'm almost reading this, if we look at this card and kind of flip it or invert it in a way to make the feminine masculine and make something beautiful like a violin. I mean, a violin could play really creepy music. A lot of horror movies have like violin. But flip it so that this is a masculine energy, and instead of it being a violin, it's like a sword or something that could really do some harm or even take a life if it had to. It's not that the sword itself is taking the life, it's the wielder of the sword. But it's like, I'm seeing this energetically, like S is putting down the sword to be able to allow this cycle to close out, so that now this more feminine energy that's softer, that's more connected or attuned to the more artistic or creative, not that he's going to become an artist or anything like that, but just allowing more of the creative life force of the feminine to inspire him, rather than think already, no, I don't need you. I know what I'm doing. Um, you need to listen to me, kind of more forceful, domineering type of energy. That's shifting big time. And again, this might take time. It's not just going to be in this overnight process. Okay. Oh, so funny with the clothes. I am getting rid of old clothes currently. Well, that's very fitting. Ha, no pun intended. Um, yeah, but you can take that example, Michelle, as also belief systems, examining relationships that just you've tried some on, you're realizing it's not really for you anymore, or maybe there's a new one that's come into your life, or some that have been in your life, but you're realizing I really like that person. Let me make them a better part or a bigger part of my life. Absolutely. Linda's here. Welcome, Linda. Good to see you, hun. All right, let's get Linda a card. In alignment with Linda's true spirit, what does she need to know? Ooh, we have here discover your life purpose. And funny, we were just talking about the violin, and this guy's now playing. He's picked the violin up. He's ready to play it. We have the number 29 here, which adds up to an 11, which is very much it doesn't always have to be a number of partnership, but a lot of times it's like the best version of me, me meaning you, Linda, the best version of me comes out when I am, with that a soulmate or someone you really vibe with. It's like that really beautiful essence and spirit that you are can really thrive and shine when you're in the company of someone who can really shine a spotlight on that or allow that to come to the surface. You can also do this alone, but it does feel like it's more fun to allow that spirit to really come to the surface when it's you and your son talking, and you're showing up in a really loving way, or you and your husband, or you and a friend or a family member. But part of you discovering your life purpose might, again, this very much is a like mountain. I'm seeing all those mountains in the background. There might be some travel. I don't know if camping specifically is something, but it could be just getting out in nature. Even at night, looking at the stars, that could be something that could really inspire you. But this is something you've been spending a lot of your life doing without realizing that's what you're doing, discovering your life purpose. But it's like every day, every month, every year, you're getting more pieces of the puzzle. And it's not that we usually have one very specific life purpose. It's like we have a lot of mini life purposes that kind of add up to this more collective theme of a higher life purpose. And there are a lot of ways we can fulfill a life purpose that may look completely different than what our neighbor, our friend, our child, our partner, whoever is doing. But this is about you giving yourself the time and space needed. Yes, you're spending time with loved ones, specifically soulmate type connections in your life, but also like balancing or anchoring that in with also some alone time to where you can really feel your own energy field and know, okay, this feels really in alignment, and really get clear on where you want your life force energy to be directed. Because if you're just like most people in the world, just spending your life force energy putting out fires of life happening to me rather than for me, that's a significant waste of life force. If you, yes, we as humans have to put out fires, no, like not literally fires, but an unexpected bill comes in. There's something that we have to run to the grocery store because we're out of a couple of ingredients for the dinner we had planned, and it's just not gonna be the same without it. So we have to kind of drop everything and run to the store real quick, or whatever the case may be. It's like we're constantly having wrenches thrown in our gears, or having to put out these little fires. But it's about balancing, okay, living a life, putting out fires, handling the problems, handling the conflict, but also creating or cultivating a space to where you can be in this really creative container of, well, what do I want? What feels good to me? What brings me joy? And then doing some of those things. Very cool. All right, that was for Linda. Hello, Divyansha. Welcome. It's been a while since I've seen you. Welcome back. Yes, hello, hello. Oh, she was attacked by the same girl at class. The new girl tattled on her to the same girl, and she went to the counselor to complain about Kay. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's just one thing after another with that group, isn't it? Oh my gosh. All right, Sierra Lavender, I haven't seen you in a hot minute either. I hope you're doing well as well. Let's get you a card. All right. Here we go for Sierra. Ooh, we have family and tribe. I think this is kind of a theme today for a lot of you, is just about, most of you already know who your family is, obviously, but then like, well, who's my tribe? Well, I have this close friend and this online friendship and, this or that or whatever. So it really is about, knowing where to draw a boundary and not just let any old person into your tribe. So part of what you're potentially doing right now, Sierra, is just determining, kind of vetting out, or kind of almost acting as the bouncer of your own nightclub of life. Like, okay, do you need to be here? Is your energy adding, or is it taking away from what I have already going on? And if it's taking away, I'm either going to have to distance myself, or you don't have a seat at the table of my life right now. So there could be some really clear boundaries you may be setting with friends or family right now, or just trying to revive. I see one specific connection that and it may not even be in your conscious awareness now, but if it intuitively you're seeing someone's face in your mind's eye, or someone's name is coming to mind, it could be that this is just letting you know, hey, reach out to that person, because there is potential here for you to strengthen that bond. It's a feminine energy. So this could be, a friend that maybe you never had any kind of falling out, but you just kind of, life got busy and you kind of both went your separate ways, and you just reaching out and kind of almost reeling her back in, um, can re-spark or reignite that connection, that friendship. And it could be something that's very valuable to both of you. So yeah, keep that in mind as well. All right, Divyansha, let's get you a card. Can you please do that violin music again? I don't think I quite, that sounds more like a monkey. Yeah. You'll just have to watch it on the replay and make like a ringtone out of it or something. Make one of those remixes where someone will take like a news clip, or someone melting down, and then they'll make like a whole drum and bass beat with the music, and like that's 2025's revenge porn, is taking someone's like something horrible they said, or them melting down, and like creating like a meme almost out of it. I love it. All right, Divyansha, let's get you a card. All right, and we are already over our time by about 10 minutes. So we'll do Divyansha, and then we'll do Ariana, and then I'm going to move into the donation readings, because I do have some things I have to do, and a private reading that I have to be on today by 12:30, 1 o'clock, somewhere in there. It's a pre-recorded, but I do need to get it done and get it out there for her. So, okay. Divyansha, here we go. We have selling out. And once again, this doesn't mean that you have purposely done this, but most of us, just to fit in this insane clown world, have had to sell out. That's like going to a job that you hate, but you have to pay your bills. So like you go even though you don't like it, or being in relationships because, well, where else am I going to go, or whatever the case may be specifically. But this is about you seeing where in your life, even if it's just stuff from the past and you don't feel like you're currently selling out in any way, literally or figuratively, re-examining some things that maybe have gone on in the past to kind of lead you to where you are now. This can help you realize that you don't have to sell out anymore. You don't, you can still have money coming in from a job that's more in alignment, or from, some other unknown source at this time. Money could be coming in without you having to feel like you're selling your soul, or selling, selling your time, or kind of trading your time for money to something that just doesn't align for you. So there may be just this almost life review that you're doing right now, Divyansha, to see where maybe you're selling yourself short, or you're settling for something that is below you, just so that you can feel like you're getting crumbs or scraps rather than nothing. But there's so much better, like you're so much more deserving. There's a specific relationship in your life. Intuitively just feel into that and just see if anyone's face comes to mind, or name, or just a feeling of who this could be, where you're settling for way less than you deserve, or you're giving so much to this person energetically, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, and you're barely getting a trickle back, if that. It's just a very out of balance relationship, and this may be the just kind of turning point for you to realize that, okay, I'm calling my power back. That's one thing all of you can do, is if you're feeling taken advantage of in any way by the matrix, the system, the man, a specific man or a woman or someone in your life or a job, you can always, doesn't mean you have to quit that job, quit that relationship. Brokeback Mountain, I don't know how to quit you. You don't have to literally quit the thing, the person, the whatever, but you just calling your power back will make a shift happen. Intention is everything with that. And you can even do like calling your power back meditation or incantation ritual, whatever feels good for you to do. But that would greatly benefit you, is to call your power back, Divyansha, so that you feel like you're not selling out in one regard or another. All right, Ariana, this is going to be the last free reading today because we're already 34 minutes, and I said about 20 minutes we'll do readings. So I'm already like way over, way over the mark, but I do want to get, I did see a couple other donations come in, of course, from, let's see, it was Jacina and then Marlene, aka Hey Hey as well. Okay, so let's see. Ariana. In alignment with Ariana's true spirit, what does she need to know right now? And we have here pride. And it's almost like the duality here of life and death, positive and negative, good and evil, whatever, masculine, feminine. I mean, all the different polarities or dualities you can think of, insert here. But it's like with the number 7 paired up with the pride card, that's almost like an oxymoron, so to speak, because the number 7 is very internal, very introverted, very spiritually attuned, very enjoys the solitude. But pride really, it really needs other people to feed into it. It's not just usually when you're in pride, or you are feeling that sense of pride. I mean, you can take it more of, okay, I accomplished something, I have a sense of pride. That's not really what I'm getting here. This is more like pride as far as like ego kind of stuff. And usually the ego needs other consciousnesses to pay it homage or to recognize it or whatever, or it can't really show up the way that it wants to or hopes to. So this is almost like a balance of your own internal compass, your higher self, your true self, your spirit, whatever you want to label that energy within you, Ariana, versus the false self, the ego, the part that has to potentially put on a mask or pretend to be someone or something you're not, just to fit in or please other people or feel like you've arrived or you've made it in some way. And this is about just examining those things and stripping it back to who you truly are on a spiritual level, because that version of you that is the true essence and true version of you is far greater than any false self or mask or outfit or carbon copy that you try to put yourself into. And when you can realize that your true, authentic, unique self is much and far greater than anything you could ever pretend or anyone you could ever pretend to be, that's when you've kind of like had that aha moment. And I do see there is kind of an elevation or a level up coming to this realization process for you, that being your true authentic self, even if other people are turned off by that for whatever reason, you're going to shine much brighter in this world and start to attract the people that really vibrate, really resonate with that true authentic version of you. And it will allow all these people who kind of, for the like general example of people who are just pretending to be your friend because you're all in the same sport together, or you're all involved in the same type of activity, or you're one of the rich kids, or you're one of the poor kids, or, anything in between, you kind of almost start to, I just heard the word trauma bond. I don't think it goes that deep or extensive, but it's almost like you trauma bond to this group because, okay, we have these things in common, or we're all doing this one thing, or, we all identify as this, whatever the case may be. And instead of having to put yourself in a box or label yourself, it's just stripping away everything that's not you and just allowing your true essence, your true self, your true joyful nature of happiness to shine through. And that will really greatly benefit not only you, but every single person that you come across, whether you know them or not, whether it's an animal, a tree, a cashier at a store, your best friend, whoever, you're going to inspire them. Maybe not like literally and mentally, but energetically, you're inspiring them to level up or level out of your life. All right. Apologies for those that came in a bit late. We are going to have to move on. I do apologize, but I will be back on Wednesday, and Wednesday's the day we're going to be doing the Cosmic Questions Corner. I told you guys Wednesday, or no, it was last Friday, that Wednesday we do the Cosmic Questions Corner. And I do like to keep the Cosmic Questions Corners on Wednesday because we do Wednesday evening, Woo Woo Wednesday. And I feel like, because Fridays are kind of smack dab in the middle of my day, and I kind of usually have something going on right after. Whereas on Wednesday evenings, we just go until either we run out of donations, I'm tired, or whatever. So there's like really no time limit on Wednesdays the way there may be on a Friday. So I want to do Cosmic Question on Wednesday. Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. That'll be 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. And if you're out of any of those time zones, I do apologize. I don't know anything other than like the core 4 US time zones, because those are the ones I'm used to. But you can always do like a time zone converter. What does 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time equal in, whatever your time zone is? And you can easily get a conversion to see what time that would be for you. And of course, if you're not able to make it at that time because you're on the other side of the globe or what have you, you can always tune in later, or just if you are sending in a donation for a reading, you can always say, I need a timestamp, or whatever the case may be. I will catch up on your comments though, and do some shout outs to those who joined a bit later. Just so we let everyone feel included here. Linda, oh, you have 3 trips coming up. Sierra says travel is nice. Yes. I want to do more traveling, but I've been so busy here. So busy here just with kids and all their, activities and sports and camps and things that, we haven't done much traveling this summer, which I kind of wished we did. I like your hair. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, Feria Edits. Welcome, welcome. Rita Vega, I'm sorry I missed your 444 there, but we do kind of have to get going so I can get these donation questions done. But next time, come next time, and usually about the first 20 to 30 minutes, if you're here and you get your password in, usually I see it in a timely enough manner that I'll be able to get to you for one of the free 1 cards. But if you had a pressing question, of course, you can always send a donation, and we'll always honor those before we go. Yes, there we go. You're so welcome, Ariana. Welcome to the live stream. It's good to see you here. Okay. All right. Well, I think that will do us. I did not see Katie here. So I will timestamp for her. Let me just see. Yes. So we do have, my email is doing that thing where it likes to just not tell me that PayPal has alerted. The only email I've got so far today is from Taryn Lupo's Carvings and Crafts. The others, I have to go into PayPal, and then it will show me in my activity who has donated. So I'm just going to go there because I'm not trusting my email to let me know. But also, if you have donated, let me know here in the chat so that I have like an alert or a heads up that you donated, so that I can make sure I get to your question for sure. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. We don't have too complicated of a system here. At least I'd like to think so. So Lupo, Dr. Lupo. I just can't not call you Dr. Lupo, even though, I'm sure it's still a title you have, but I still just want to call you Dr. Lupo. Taryn Lupo, go ahead and post your question. Unless you did post it on PayPal. Sometimes people do. I don't see one though. So go ahead and post your question. And then we'll have Katie, and then Marlene has donated. I do know Jacina's came in, then Marlene. So the order will be Taryn, aka Taryn, Lupo's Carvings and Crafts. Then it will be Jacina, then Marlene, and then Katie will timestamp because she's going to watch the replay. She'll watch it later. So unless she pops in, of course, at any point, if she does pop in, we will go ahead and do her reading then, after we're finished with the one we're currently on, if we're currently on one. Donation list. So this will be the order of operations here. So Lupo, I'll just put Lupo. We know who that is. Then we have Jacina, and then Hey, and then Katie R. And that's our current list. So if you donated and your name is not on that list, please let us know here in the chat. And I will make sure I get on that post haste. Okay. You're so welcome, Sierra. Had to pause the live for a bit, so just now hearing the message. I completely agree with setting boundaries with family and finding new friends. Awesome. Yeah, just because we're born into that family doesn't mean we have to put up with their toxicity if it just doesn't align anymore. And we can sometimes love someone from afar. We don't have to allow them to come in and cause destruction and chaos in our life every time they have a whim to do so. Especially once we're all adults. I mean, usually if you're living under a very chaotic parent's roof, you have no choice until you're out of under said roof. But as adults, we do have, I guess, the advantage of we can move on if we have to. So that's the good part. Okay, so question is, we have had a really good friend ghost out and is super pissed at us. Oh no. And what is weird is an old relationship came back and everything is great. It seems like a different version of them, like an old version came back. I'll tell you what, there's something going on with the timelines and even time itself that these energies are making people like that you would never expect to lose their crap, like super crazy over here. And the people you never expected to get their crap together are like all of a sudden like showing up in their highest version. It's a really weird thing. You may even see people returning to past version of themselves, like you're saying here. Let's tune into this. Let's just see what is going on. Your van is broke down over and over, keeping us from a trip that we are supposed to do. I just, oh, that's so weird because I'm like, there's a protection here. And then I saw, is this protecting us from traveling to South Carolina? There is a protection. And I just got chills as I said that. And there was something about the water that was in your card during the free one card pull, something about the water and being careful around water. So I don't know if you guys were right on like, say, the ocean or near a river that could flood or anything like that. But there feels like there could be potential for some sort of flood or rising water that could potentially put you in danger. I don't see it as a life-threatening danger, but just enough of a danger that it would cost you time and money that you just don't have the time and resources and like even like F's to give to be involved in something that's going to derail you energetically, physically, potentially financially. So yeah, I do see this as some sort of protection already coming in. But let's just pull a card on that part, and then we'll get into the bit about the friends, because this part about the van breaking down and you being protected from travel to South Carolina really took over all of a sudden. So that seems to be like the most important message you need to know today is, yeah, you're being protected. Yeah, it's like the universe is saying no, no. Oh, it is on Myrtle Beach. There you go. Oh yeah, feel it as a sign. Maybe the hurricane coming. It could be something like that. Yeah, it feels very much having to do with water or rising water, or even if it's not that you're directly affected by water or rising water, it's the fallout from said potential floods or more, weather related things with lots of torrential downpour of rain or something like that. That maybe it's like a supply chain issue that would be really like not beneficial to you is what I'm seeing here, or detrimental in some way. Uh, so again, it didn't feel like you'd be put in like a life-threatening situation that this was trying to protect you from, more so of just inconvenience, costing you way more money than it should, and like just feeling like burdened by the whole thing is what this feels more like a protection from. We feel like we have been trapped or stuck there way longer than we want. Yeah. I just keep feeling and hearing like it's time to move on. It's time to do something different. Yeah, look, let it all. Oh, look at the water too. Normally the tower has no water anywhere in sight. But look at that. It's like the water is consuming the tower, as well as, coming from the sky, the lightning, the electricity, the torrential rains coming down. Wow. Um, Again, not to say you're in any mortal danger or anything like that, but yeah, energetically speaking, it's like it's time to go. There may even be some cords you can remove or cut or pull. I always say, instead of cutting them, you can do this with people, jobs, energies. You can even do this with locations. It's not just people and things that you can remove or pull cords from. It can also be locations that you just no longer want to be like tied down to or put upon. We had all 3, 4. How many are here? All of these fell down. Knight of Swords. Yeah, the time is now. Swift action to move in a different direction. 5 of Wands. There's a lot of things trying to keep you where you are or hold you back in some way. But then we have the Moon here, which is about you trusting your intuition. And it's very funny. My dog started howling. I don't know if you can hear him. He has 8% husky in him. So he takes that 8% for all it's worth. And when he hears another dog howling or a siren, and usually when dogs howl, the wolf's howling at the moon. Literally, wasn't because they, for any reason other than they felt like the moon was negative and they had to protect from the moon. So they would howl to warn others is kind of more the real reason. I don't know if you hear him. He's howling. Ruth was doing her thing earlier. Now Arthur's howling. Um, so yeah, it does to me feel like a warning. Like, okay, especially with this, it's like a warning, like the writing's on the wall and there's communication coming in and progressing you forward with this from the knight to the queen. Vice versa here. It's backwards from me to you. It's like a warning, like, okay, let's get our ducks in a row, like let's cut our losses, like let's unstick ourselves and be able to move forward. So as far as the friends go, let's go back to that part of the question about a really good friend ghosting and being super pissed. Like, let's see what the heck that's all about. Oh, and some of these I put in upside down. Okay. All right, so what is the underlying energy and reason and intention behind this good friend ghosting and becoming super pissed? Something about stability, security, potentially a home, a contract, even maybe some sort of unspoken or spoken agreement or verbal agreement of something that this person feels was somehow violated. Let's see why. Something in violation. Wow. So it does feel pretty major to this person, but I'm seeing too that this could have to do with something about feelings from the past that were never resolved. And this person's just gotten like, it's like, and it's not even that you specifically did anything. It's that this person is like almost making stories up in their head is what this feels like, or trying to justify their own actions and behavior. And instead of being upset at themselves, they're projecting that back onto you. Yeah, it's almost like a potential plan that didn't follow through or wasn't, something that potentially was promised or offered, or I won't even say given and then taken away. I don't see that it went that far, but it was more like shooting the breeze, like talking about things. And this person took something way more to heart than they should have, or than you meant for them to. So they're taking something personally. They took it almost like a lump of clay that you offered them in the shape of a square, and then their mind took it and molded it into the shape of a dragon or a horse or something. And they're like, see, this is what you promised me, even if they're not overtly or coming out and saying you did this and then you said that. Even if they're not listing, it's more that they just got angry and vanished is more the energy, but it's not something that you literally actually did. It's how they interpreted what you said or what you did that is the reason behind this ghosting and then getting super pissed. Really, the person they should be pissed at is themselves, because they've taken something that was said or done and twisted it way so far out of reality that you ever intended it for it to be, that they're like losing the plot with it. And instead of admitting, oh, my bad, they're doubling down and now projecting that energy back onto you, like you're the one at fault, is what this feels like. So yeah, it's nothing you did. I mean, maybe something you said or did kind of put like a thorn in the side of this person that then become an infection, and this person didn't deal with it the best way, and now it's on them, but they're trying to say it's on you. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, they seem triggered and they seem to make up story up to stop talking to us. Yeah, that's exactly what this feels like. I shared something they told me because I was worried about their safety, and I guess I should not have said anything. And again, you didn't have this person's like you had their best interest at heart. You didn't want to derail them or make them feel inferior or less than in any kind of way. Like you were legitimately concerned about something, and they took that the wrong way. So I would say just let it ride, let's see what happens. It's not that you even have to go in and apologize, because you really didn't do anything wrong. It's again the way this person interpreted or kind of twisted things to make it seem like something was going on that really wasn't, or something was said or done that wasn't. It's almost like this person made up a whole alternative reality that's not even real. So yeah, it's a very interesting energy for sure. This person's very confused. They've changed their own internal story like 4 or 5 times. So no wonder you're confused. Yeah, they created a whole story that never happened. We really loved her. It is sad she made it. Yeah, I'm seeing like this very complicated, convoluted, like intricate gymnastics routine. And you, even if you slowed it down to see the process of it all, like you'd get lost in the sauce. It's way too much and it's not even based in reality. Yeah, for sure. And then for the other friend, let's tune into that real quick before we close out. Um, okay, so and then an old relationship came back and everything is great. It seems like a different version of them, like an old version came back. Again, I'm hearing that song Amazing Grace, like I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. And then look, we have the Six of Cups, which is a return to nostalgia, the past. This can occur a lot of times during a Mercury retrograde. So I don't know if this person did come back during Mercury retrograde. Can't remember the exact date Mercury did go retrograde, but it was sometime in the middle of July, maybe the 18th or something, somewhere in there. And it went direct on August 11th. We're still kind of in the shadow period for about another week and a half-ish of Mercury retrograde. And then, of course, before Mercury did go retrograde, probably into early July, we were kind of in the shadow period of it, stationing to then go retrograde, if that makes sense. So usually, even though it's a 3-week retrograde period, it's like 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after. That adds up to about 7 weeks that Mercury's kind of haywire with communication. Past things from the past kind of coming back as well. And I see that there's a more authentic version, or it's more in alignment with that old version, which you did feel was very authentic to this person. As far as kind of that middle version of them that you got that was kind of off-putting to you guys, let's just see what was up with that version. Okay, there was some sort of lack, trying to bring something forward. It might have even been something financial that was kind of turned them into this alternative version of themselves for a while. But they have somehow overcome that or got over it, or at least they're trying to work toward overcoming that to return to a previous version, or not even that they're returning to a previous version, but they realize that version they kind of were in the middle was not it. It was not it. It wasn't correct. It wasn't real. It wasn't proper. It wasn't, you didn't deserve that version of them. So they're showing up as, okay, I used to be this version, which was good. Then I became this version, which was not good. And now I'm looking to, kind of hindsight being 2020, looking back, do better. Was blind, but now I see. Like, oh, I was a real ass back then. Like, I don't know if you got a literal apology, but this person does look like they have the intention to do better moving forward, for sure. Yeah. Oh, by the way, was what she told us about her husband real, or did she make it up for sympathy? I'm already hearing "Cry me a river," victim mode. There may have been elements of truth in what she said, but it was not as extreme. Yeah, because she was hurt and heartbroken, so she took it to the next step. Because this comes after the Three of Swords, which is about betrayal, getting cheated on, stolen from, the death of somebody, a breaking up of a marriage, or a big health issue that was like a near-death crisis or something. And then this is kind of the fallout from that, where a person has to take a break. And instead of taking a break, she like made herself the victim, or use that circumstance to kind of somehow mold or shape herself into the victim. Which, I mean, maybe legitimately she did feel like a victim, but she didn't have to go so over the top with it, is what's coming through. Yeah, she didn't need to go that hard with it, because you would have had sympathy for her regardless, but and understood if she actually explained things in a truthful way. You would have understood, or at least saw her side of the fence or whatever, but she had to embellish the details and maybe the severity of something that was going on, especially with the husband there. Yeah. So it wasn't even half as extreme as she was trying to make it seem. All right. So I hope that sheds a little bit of light. At least energetically, that's what's coming through. I can see very clearly. Okay, let's see if you're in danger from. I don't sense. I think any kind of threats, veiled or overt threats that have been given are just. I'm seeing like someone puffing out their chest or puffing up their cheeks and then blowing it out, like it was all. Like maybe she in the moment is like, yeah, I'm gonna get back at them, but it's just gonna be too much work. Yeah, it's like you're in control here is what I see. What's her energy coming into any kind of retaliation? Let's see her energy coming into any kind of retaliation. The unknown card. I didn't even know this was in this deck. This is kind of a deck I don't use a lot, but let's get a clarifier on this unknown card. What is her intention as far as any kind of retaliation toward Taryn and his family or group, friends? 3 of Wands. So she's moving on. She might try to move forward with something, but it's not gonna, this is your position. Yeah, it does feel mostly closed out, like she's moving on. She's got other fish to fry. She's someone who likes to play the victim and then get people's sympathy, potentially money, or even just their attention is a form of currency that this person thrives on. She thrives on drama. Even if she says, "Oh, I hate drama. I can't stand drama." I think thou dost protest too much because you're involved in drama right now that you created. Yeah, really nothing beats the Emperor. As far as you being in your power and just dictating the reality you're looking for here, nothing will beat this. So even if she has a veiled threat or, tries to do something, it's almost like a little kid with their bow and arrow that had the little suction cups on the end instead of the arrow point. It's just going to bounce right off you and it's not going to hurt. You're going to be like, okay, fun times. Like it's going to not be able to penetrate you energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually in any way. You always get the Emperor anytime Amanda reads for us. Well, it lets you know that you know where your power lies and you can wield it. When you choose to bring it out, it's there. It's right there. And yeah, absolutely. I love it. All right. So up next we have, that would be Jacina. And then Marlene is on deck. So Jacina for a 1 card. Let me get my list updated here. And then hey, 1 card. Oops, hey, 1 card. And then Versha has donated for 2 questions. So Versha times 2. Okay. And then Katie for a timestamp. I'm gonna put that so I don't forget to timestamp for her. She usually likes to watch the whole thing, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Katie. Usually, like, I'll watch it later. But I like to timestamp it if I can remember, just so at least you have that for your reference later on. Oh, we love you. Oh, we love you. I love you too. You guys are awesome. I miss you guys. I really do. I miss like the networks like that I had back in the day. I just kind of fell off all my different little groups and networks and like online friendships and support and stuff. Like I do miss a lot of it. I do. I feel like I'm in this weird season of life where my kids are pulling me 2 different directions at all times. And I'm like just trying to keep up with them, let alone my own friendships in person and online and it's like, but I think it'd be cool like once a month if we did like a Zoom meeting or something just to like see each other's faces and touch base and hang out and laugh and talk about the state of the world. I don't know. That'd be cool, really cool and fun. Yeah. All right. Well, I am going to get into Jacina's question. So Jacina, let me know that you're here. I can also go get my pen and stuff from out in the hallway to timestamp if I need to. But Jacina, what is going on with Rex and I? Okay, let's see here. For Jacina, tuning into Jacina's lovely true spirit. What is going on with her and Rex? What's going on with her and Rex? Okay. So there is something that was heartbreaking, potential lies, deception, or just feeling like, oh, I thought we were doing this and now things are completely different, or what was potentially promised is not coming through and you're feeling heartbroken about it or sad or almost like feeling deceived or like you were lied to about something. This feels like a promise, something that went unfulfilled from something he said to you that he did not follow through on. And now you're left kind of holding the bag. Like, I thought we were going to do that, or I thought we were, going to become something, is really the energy coming through. But let's just see his intentions moving forward, especially with what's currently going on. What are Rex's intentions toward Justina, especially with the way things currently are? Okay, so there is going to be some sort of inspiration where he is going to maybe potentially start making actions back in your direction in an elevated way. So it's like he's showing up as a higher version of himself, or like following through with the things he said he would do. Yeah, especially something from the past that he said he would do or promised, or just somehow didn't deliver or under delivered on, that potentially caused you a lot of stress or anxiety, because you're like, well, I thought that this was the case, and now I'm finding out this is actually the case. It's like there might be that he's trying to attempt to right that wrong, because his intention isn't like to ghost and never return to your energy at all. Like, that's not his intention. His intention is to somehow try to make this right. That's what's coming through. Let me put these back and just see if there's anything you need to know, Justina, about your best interest moving forward with Rex, energetically, in a relationship, or whatever the case may be. What is in Justina's best interest in regards to Rex? Okay, so it's about trusting when you start to really feel anxious about this connection, that's giving you some valuable information, because when you solidly stand with someone, there's really no anxiety. Even if the person tells you something you don't want to hear, it might be anxiety for like a second, but then when they tell you something, even if you don't want to hear it, at least you have clarity. You know where you stand. You know what's going on. And it's like the more he keeps you in this confused, anxious, what are we? What's going on? What are our plans moving forward? It's like the more you're starting to bring your energy back to yourself. I mean, at first it might try to go after him and try to not capture. I mean, that's kind of a weird word, but like energetically speaking, it's more like you're trying to kind of reel him back in or bring him back toward you. But that almost will push him farther away. But then when you start to pull that energy back into yourself and pour into yourself, do the things that you enjoy, take care of yourself, do self-care, self-love, work on your own self-development type things. It's like, that's when he's going to be like, oh, wait a second. I don't feel her energy pulling at me anymore. Like, what's going on over there? Am I not important enough for her to reach out to, or what's going on? Like, it's going to be like curiosity for him, and then start to cause him anxiety, because now he feels like, oh, well, did she move on? Like, what's going on? So it's almost like you pulling your energy back, and not in a way where you're playing games. Like, oh, I'm just going to ghost him, and then whatever he has to say about it, like, I'm just going to see if he comes back. You're not coming at it from a place of, let me play games. This is more, okay, I need to do what's best for me and my own mental health. And when I'm like sitting here stressing and worrying about, what's the next step? Is he going to follow through with what he said he's going to do? All these things. It just creates this almost churning up energetic worry that almost tries to, like, not with you trying, but it like somehow energetically repels him from you, even though you are not the one in the wrong to begin with. It's something he fell short on, or overpromised and underdelivered is what's coming through. So there is something that you're doing by pulling your energy back, not to get him to, have any kind of reaction, but it's more just for you and your own heart, your own spirit, doing what's in your best interest, will then somehow bring him back into like the awareness, or like a new beginning here, a physical new beginning. Let's just see. Yeah, I don't know that she is here. I will try. Oh, do timestamp me as well, as Kay will be coming 45 minutes. Perfect. Let me go. Well, I'm at Wrigley's desk. I'm not even at my little situation here. Wrigley has a desk here now. I don't know if there's any paper, but I think I have a sticky note pad out here. Let me grab that. Or better yet, I have a notebook right here. Got a notebook. Okay, so we're timestamp. Let's I don't want to pull out any of his little drawings. Just get a random piece of paper with nothing on it. It's like he draws one little thing per page. This is from a long time ago, but I don't want to interrupt the flow of his little artistic creations here. This will be my timestamp paper for now. Okay. this little thing in here. All right. So timestamp for Justina would be, it's sometime before 109.06. I'm going to have to go in and find that after the fact. Before. Okay. So up next, we have Marlene, aka Hey Hey, and then Versha, and then Katie is on deck. Yeah. Boom. Okay. And I will go into PayPal just to see if Marlene posted her question over there, or not, or what's going on with that. Oops, wrong thing. Okay, let me log in there. Yeah, she usually is, I'm guessing, like, busy doing other things, but when it's her turn, she usually pops back in. It's like she's listening, but like doing other things. I don't know. That's just what I feel is going on. All right. Okay, so Marlene, there she is. Oh, this morning I felt someone tap my elbow 3 times. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see what's going on there. So 1 card for Hey Hey. You guys know me, it's never 1 card, but I don't know what to call them. I should just call it a mini reading or something. That's really what I should do. To call it a 1 card kind of doesn't really fit what I do. Let's just see what that was. Yeah. It does feel very spiritual, very energetic. Yeah, look at that. That's confirmation. I don't know if you literally asked for a sign from a loved one, but it does feel like your Uncle Juan's energy. It's playful. It's like, I don't want to scare her, but I want to get the attention is kind of what's coming through. You thought it was your daughter. Yeah, this does feel very energetic, very spiritual. And no, you're not crazy. This is validating that, yes, that happened. And no, it was not your daughter. Yeah, I should call it a 5 card. I know, right? And then we had 1 fall to the ground. Let me get it. Page of Wands. Okay, so it's a very playful energy here. And both of these cards, interestingly enough, have like dragon energy around it. Look at that. Like dragon symbolism. Not saying it was a dragon, but like, these cards don't all have dragons in them. Look at that. Like, what is that? Oh, lady in the snow. The sun card. Yeah, there's like, those are the only 2 cards that I remember pulling today that have dragons in them. Oh, the wheel has a dragon on top too. But interestingly enough, both the cards that came out were wands and they both have dragons in them. Let's just see anything else, Marlene. It does feel very protective. Absolutely, Versha, you're right on it. Both me and Juan are dragons in the Chinese zodiac. Oh my gosh, there you go. This is something to do with a protective energy around old grief. So I don't know if you've been thinking about something that has kind of brought up, again, this is old grief. This is not a new grief, but there may be deeper layers of processing that you've had with grief, or if there's been some sort of anniversary date or birth date or something that's passed recently that brought up some feelings. And it doesn't even have to be surrounding your Uncle Juan, but it could be. I'm getting just such chills right now on my crown. But yeah, it's like a grief energy that came up to be released, to be let go. And that like tapping of 3 times, I just heard 3rd time's the charm. So it's like, if he were to have tapped 1 or 2 times, you may have just like thought, oh, it was just my hair tickling my arm, or, you wouldn't have like questioned it. But the fact it was 3, and then it was so physical that you're like, whoa. Like he got the point across. So I heard message received. So is there any other actual message that needs to come through for Marlene from Juan about why he did this? Like what's any other message or guidance here? Oh, look at this. There's progression here from the Ace to the 2 of Cups. This is just letting you know you're safe, you're protected, you're loved. Your loved ones are safe, protected, and loved. The family, he's watching over the family. I know it sounds like a very generic, like, oh, message from the other side. I love you. I'm watching you. I'm guiding you. I'm protecting you. I know it sounds that way, but it's like just you realizing or knowing he's still very much involved in the family dynamics and what's going on. But also he has a vested interest in not just you, Marlene, but other people in the family as well, and how they're progressing. Like he's very curious about like what they're doing. Um, how they're working on their goals and whatever. And then specifically the message to you is if you felt like you've had to kind of put your dreams, your goals, your wishes, your desires on the back burner for any reason lately, this is letting you know to have faith that you will be able to pick those back up or have new inspirations or what have you. Especially with this combination here, new inspirations, that you can really start to make things happen with these new inspirations just purely for yourself. And it may start out as something fun or exciting or like a hobby of some sort. Again, there's like this ability to somehow monetize this um, eventually. And that's not even why you're starting to do this. Or maybe you think, oh, this could really make some money, but then you love it so much that it doesn't really feel like work, or the project itself just, it doesn't feel like you're doing it for the money, but then money might just be a natural byproduct of this. And he's very invested, no pun intended, in the outcome or just the process and like how you go about it and the decisions you make around it. Like he's like the Michael Jackson meme with the popcorn front row seat, like wanting to, not in a negative way, like watch a downfall, but like watch something play out, like in a positive way. Very cool. So yeah, you're safe, you're protected. He's there. He's ready to see, some things moving forward, especially the things that you felt you kind of had to put on the back burner, or things you need to do but you haven't had the time to do, or even the motivation to do, but you're going to be ready very soon to make some things happen for yourself that you're going to feel like some progress being made. And he's going to be right there with you. Very cool. All right. Yeah, such a sweet message. I fell asleep saying things like that. Oh, no, you're totally fine. All right. So, let's see. We have Versha. We did have another donation come in. I saw an email from Sarah, which is Virgo. Virgo in the chat. Awesome, Virgo. Welcome. Good to see you again. Let me just double check. We didn't have anything come in right before that, just so I'm not skipping people if that's the case, because my email is only alerting me that some people have donated. PayPal's doing a decent job, though, of letting me know when I have a new activity over here. So yes, Virgo is after Versha. So next up we have Versha, then Virgo, then Katie. That's the current order as we move through our list here. So let's get Virgo added to the list. Okay, perfect. Oh, I gotta update it. So Versha has 2 questions. I think probably one for her, one for Kashvi. Let's see. Copy that, paste that. There it is. And then we're time stamping for Versha. And we're at 117.19. Awesome. Okay, so I hope you can give me a helping hand. Yes, I feel deep down there is some still slight grief about him, but I appreciate and love that he reached out. Aw, yes, absolutely. He's fun. He's got a fun energy. I love it. I can see why there would be such a feeling of loss with him, no longer being physically here, but he's finding ways to show up in the physical, even if it's just through some touching on an elbow, or you thinking about him. I mean, I guess thinking isn't too physical, but it feels real for sure. Okay, so let's see. So Versha, let's go to let's see. Oh, Ruth's at it again with her barking. Let me out, let me out, let me out. I normally don't put them in the crate when I'm live, even if I'm home alone. Because they do pretty well. So I don't know, maybe I'll go let her out in a bit if she keeps at it, because it gets really annoying really fast. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear that, right? Oh, do the second question first. Okay. So let's see. Let me go over to PayPal. Oh no. So that's all I'm seeing. I don't see it in number 2, do I? But sometimes it cuts it off for whatever reason. But then if I show story, see, it does even less. It shows me even less. You'd think, "Oh, show story, it's gonna show even more." It shows even less. So I don't know if any of this is part of your second question or if that's still part of the first question. Let me know, um, if you can, what's going on with that. All right, and then we have our timestamp, which I might amend here because we're taking a second to figure out logistics here, but we might be into the 120 by we get there, time we get there. Okay. All right, take another drink of water while we wait. Okay, so do the first, and then I will type it again. Okay, let's go back over here. Okay, so K's fracture, I think that's supposed to say fracture repair, says 48 soul level fractals and 1 at heart level got healed. Over the weekend, she was sick, and then I saw physical changes in her skin, looking fuller somehow, and had a spark in her eyes, even more joyful. Well, then, will there be integration required completely? When will that actually start helping her? For me, it took 6 months or so. I would love her to be more centered in her own power and start listening to her inner compass, especially with friends. Some guidance, please, spirit. The mom in me and my mind, and then it trails off. So, but yeah, let's tune in just to see how long this will take. I'm seeing no more than 3 months. Like that's the time frame coming like instantly to the forefront, which will be so August 15th. So August to September, September to October, October to November. So no later than November 15th will you see this repair fully integrated is what's coming through. So let's just see anything you need to know about that. Yeah, it's like getting out of her head, you getting out of your head about because things aren't as bad. That's what's coming through is things aren't as bad as they seem. Even though it's like, wow, that many fracture, spirit fractals were returned like, oh my gosh, like that's insane. But it's almost like it's not as bad as it seems. That's what I keep hearing. It's not as bad as it seems. It's not as bad as it seems. A lot of it is mind playing games to make it seem much more expanded or bigger than it should be or actually is. Yeah. Yeah. And I know it's like 48 spirit level fractures. And to me, I'm like, that's a lot. That's crazy. And then I keep hearing, it's not as bad as it seems. It's not as bad as it seems. Why is that? Why is it not as bad as it seems? Why is that not as bad as it seems? Wow. Okay, so what I'm getting is even though we have these spirit fractures in this matrix system, when we connect with the parts of ourselves that are existing out, our true essence, our true spirit that exists outside this matrix systems, it can't touch us there. So it only exists within the container of the matrix that we're repairing something that doesn't even need to be repaired because it can never not be in perfection and in harmony when not in this matrix system. That's what it's saying. So it's almost like weird analogy or reasoning behind it. But it's almost like, okay, take an actor, I don't know, name an actor, Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie Titanic. That's what's coming forward. So he's Jack Dawson in Titanic. And it's like doing a spirit fracture. This is just what's being downloaded to me. Doing a spirit fracture to Leonardo DiCaprio via the character of Jack Dawson. We're doing the fracture repair to the character of Jack Dawson because Jack Dawson is a character, his true self, Leonardo DiCaprio, is playing in this matrix. So we do the like psychological and physical and spiritual repair to the character of Jack Dawson, whereas the character of Jack Dawson exists outside of or in spite of the fact that Leonardo DiCaprio is not Jack Dawson. But it's like Kashfi, her oversoul or her true spirit, could never be fractured or fractalized in any way. I mean, we are fractals of spirit, but even still, if we go to our core essence, we are source. We are true spirit. We could never not be true spirit, or we can never be separated from spirit, even though we have in this matrix the illusion of separation, the illusion of fracture, the illusion of not being whole and complete, the illusion of being less than or whatever, or in need of repair. But what's coming through is, yes, in the matrix, it can make us feel within this matrix system that we have risen above or got more of our power back, so to speak, because we're existing in this matrix system. But if we can realize we are not, the character of Kashfi, yes, I know it's even for an adult, it's very hard to wrap our minds around the fact that we are not just this human aspect of ourselves. It's part of who we are, or part of who we are is contained within this human whatever that's been brainwashed, conditioned, programmed, culturized, um, put in a false matrix grid over a natural matrix. Um, but if we boil it down to what's true and what's real, that could never be in disrepair, is what's coming through. So it's almost, I guess, again, the illusion of I need to fix myself, I need to heal myself, when we're already whole and complete in who we truly are. It's just all these false selves, masks, matrix overlay, false light constructs that are put over the top of our essence, that just don't need to be repaired, don't need to be healed. They just need to be let go of or dropped, like a coat being taken off and you just shake right out of it and it falls to the ground. So it can help the human mind and ego part. I mean, you can even look at the strength. This combination could be as ego or the false self feeling like, okay, something major happened and I'm healing, I'm repairing, I'm going to become better in 3 months. I'm going to feel better in 3 months. Because that's about the only way our human part or portion of us can fathom, because we feel very broken in this matrix, or we feel less than, or we're not worthy, we're not good enough, we've been traumatized, we've been harmed, and we're not whole and complete anymore because this happened, that happened, the person said something. But in truth and actual reality, nothing anyone says or does, as heinous or as like extreme as we can get it, can actually infect or affect on the true level that exists outside this matrix, that aspect that exists outside this matrix. They could never. Their false, like those black goo tentacles can't get out of the matrix. It's contained within the matrix. So it can't technically or literally touch the spirit that exists outside the matrix, but has a portion of itself in the matrix for us to have this experience right now. So I'm not seeing, again, it's not as bad as it seems. Then why is she not taking charge of so many friendship issues happening around her? I'm just seeing that she doesn't have the capacity, for as an adult, from that adult perspective, we can see like very clearly, like I can see this friend over here is baiting me into, getting bullied, or I can see that this bully is saying something to get me to respond. Like our adult version would be able to see that coming a mile away, but a child, they can't sense it, they can't see it. A lot of times they're just in this pure energy of like, I have a good heart, so I expect this person to have a good heart, until we're burned over and over and then we're jaded. And that's usually how we learn, is because it's happened to us or we've been hurt. And then the more we get hurt, the more we learn, if you put your hand in a fire, you're going to get burned. So, I'm not putting my hand in that fire. That's why it's like she doesn't have the cognitive ability to discern what's actually going on while it's going on. Hindsight might be a different thing, where she might think about it and later realize what she should have done or could have done to make things better. But in the moment, it's like she's just being in the moment and she just doesn't understand, why is this happening? I don't even know what I did. What did I even say? What did I even do? Why is this happening? Like she can't figure it out. And I'm actually, interestingly enough, I'm seeing this as is a way of her actually being protected. Because even if these kids seem to be her friends, a lot of them are just, for lack of a better way of putting it, hijacked by the Matrix and pawns of the Matrix to keep people in the Matrix. So anyone with a true spark of spirit, especially someone like Kashfi who has that gift that she could see beyond the veil in a lot of ways, and having a mother such as yourself who is awakened and can, kind of help her navigate some of these harder things she's been going through, it almost feels like that makes, again, in the Matrix, when you're awakened or you have a little bit more information than others, you become a target. And it's by design, because if you were to start shouting truth and the algorithms allowed you to shout the truth, even if no one would believe you, you would still plant a seed in someone's subconscious and their DNA that knows the truth, because we all that have a spark of spirit have DNA contained within us that does know the truth. But you just planting that seed, even if their false self, their ego, their subconscious, their, belief systems, whatever, are like, no, what you're saying is false. Just them actually being able to have heard you say it or seen a video of you saying it or came into your presence in some way plants a seed that original DNA can interpret and be like, wow, no, this is actually the truth. But that's why so many people who are actually speaking truth are suppressed, and those who maybe have a nugget of truth, but then a lot of dog crap kind of covered over it that's false, are pushed, and they can just, hit hundreds and thousands of subscribers and, maybe a million or plus subscribers. But if you're actually speaking truth, it's as much truth as you can find as your one aspect, your one little light shining in the dark, because not one person here has all the pieces, all the information, but a lot of us have a piece of it that is raw truth. Maybe we've been also programmed and brainwashed and conditioned that maybe the bit of truth that we have, we're not interpreting it exactly, but the resonance or the vibration of truth is there nonetheless. So what I'm seeing is the more that she can just, do what feels good in the moment for her and protect herself, um, the better off she's going to be. And it just may be that, she has friends and she will have friends through life. Absolutely. But some of these people that are friends or pretending to be friends or what have you, they're not going to be in her life when she's 30, when she's 40. So it's like, I mean, as kids, we desperately want to fit in. We want to be included. We want to be involved. We want to be seen and heard and accepted, but it doesn't always play out that way for every single person all the time. And she's gonna learn through this some discernment in allowing others into her life as friends in the future as a result of some of the issues she's currently going through. So it's not all, again, it's not as bad as it seems. This, the fracture repair, the friend issues, it's all not as bad as it seems, is what's coming through. All right. So, it's all, the black goo all around in the community, school, etc. It's not only the kids, it's the parents too, who are showing their true colors. I am getting to know so much that I feel nauseous. Yeah, that's what I tell her. They are not holding and protecting your light. They are blowing out your light. Yeah, and that's something that is just rampant for everyone, everywhere, all the time, since they've put this matrix system in place. And it's anyone who has a true light and is trying to shine it. You're going to be, again, I'm not saying this to deter people from becoming who they are. Like, no, still do it. Put your battle of armor on, or armor of battle on, to be able to be that spiritual. I mean, that's why they, I guess, call it a spiritual warrior. Is it's not just going to be easily won. It's a hard won thing, where we constantly have to keep showing up as that authentic self, even if we're bombarded from this side, that side, this side, that side, this friend, that enemy, that whatever. We just keep having to keep going and shining that light. Yeah. Let's see if the counselor comes back to her or not. I just heard it's all hearsay. So it's almost like the counselor is taking what's being said from these students as a grain of salt, rather than full truth, and let me come and there's retribution to pay, is what it feels like. Is let me just I'm taking what this other girl has said with a very small grain of salt is what's energetically what I feel. I don't feel inclined in letting her compete in math league because that's another space too much deep. Yeah, and she can still love math and, do math, higher level math stuff. Like she can go find these things, I'm sure, online or for fun without having to literally compete in a physical space where she's having to compete and um, feel that pressure, that anxiety, that stress, the jealousy from other people projected onto her. Sometimes it's just not worth it. And it's kind of like that with a lot of kids that are involved in sports. It's like, I love that my kids love sports, but I'm not sitting here hoping or even trying to push my kids in a path where they have to become like these top high school athletes or anything like that, because I realize how targeted people are if they stand or shine or whatever. But it's like, thank goodness, like the sport like Boston is involved in, golf, he can do that all on his own. He doesn't need friends to be around. He doesn't need a whole golf team to be around. He can just do that for fun anytime he wants. That anytime the golf course is open, he can be down there. So it's almost like, again, not having to dull your light so no one can attack you. I'm not saying that either, but it's more of a kind of choosing your battles, I guess, at this point. And if it's just way more you dealing with the fallout of energetic and psychic attack and destiny swap energies coming in every time she competes in something, is it really worth her competing? And even if she gets a high rank or score or whatever, is it really worth all of the trouble to have to go in and then protect her before, during, and after these events? It's like, and you as her mom would be the one to decide, okay, maybe it's not worth it, or maybe it is worth it, whatever you decide. For sure. um I would just do your due diligence as far as that counselor goes and tell her about the experience last year, just so she is aware, because that will help even the playing field and put another side to the story here, and just establish. And even if nothing comes of it, at least it will be kind of documented. I don't know if they'll literally document it, but at the very least, this, something happened later in the year, this counselor would remember the conversation, or at least bits of the conversation she had with you about what happened last year, to where she can kind of put pieces together about what's currently going on or going on in the future, if that makes sense. So it's always good for you to be able to speak your piece or your truth about it, if you can. If you feel inclined or even a little inkling like maybe I should talk to her, it's probably in your best interest to do that. Now I feel that the girl saying that my dad said your mom has an attitude problem, that might be true. He might have actually said that. Yeah, I mean, who knows, right? That's what, right. I do not feel it's worth it. There's so much of destiny theft and whatnots that happens. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, the counselor actually changed last year. It was someone else. So yeah, if this new counselor doesn't know like what happened, it wouldn't be a bad idea to like let them know, okay, this is kind of the history here that, Kashvi's had with this girl and this friend and this other girl and this whatever, just so you can kind of set the stage for what's actually gone on if something were to happen in the future. At least you've kind of spoken your piece about it. Hello, Crystal Rose. We did all the free cards earlier. We spent about the first 35 minutes doing the free readings. So I'm currently working my way through the donation list readings right now. But I will be doing another free pick a card, or not pick a card. Well, I do those too from time to time. And I also do a free collective reading once in a while, and then a free one card pull, which we did today. I usually do that about every 2.5 weeks. Sometimes a little sooner, sometimes usually no later than about 2.5 weeks between one card pull live streams. So usually if you kind of know my live stream schedule, you can usually get in on it pretty easy. If you're here in the first 20 minutes, you're almost guaranteed a free reading there. And I go live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time and Fridays at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So those are the 2 times I'm currently live, barring I don't have a migraine or feeling under the weather in any kind of way. I will be live on those days at those times. All right. Hope that helped you know what's going on. So let's go back up. Let's see. I thought you had the other question posted. Maybe I made that up in my head. Let's see. I swear I saw you had posted something. I thought I saw something like S and his cousin or something. Oh, you texted me the second question. Perfect. That works perfectly. Oh, maybe it was I saw it on my phone light up as a text. That's where it is. Okay. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay. So S's cousin just decided to come to visit us. Oh my god, really? Never in my like even my mom will be like, "Hey, I'm thinking of coming down these days." Or, first of all, she asks, "Well, what days are the boys' birthdays?" Or when we celebrate, she usually comes down in April to celebrate my birthday. She's like, "What days work for you guys for me to come down?" And like she's always like, "You guys let me know." Like and not even just assuming she can come either, even though she's my mom and I love her and of course I want her here. But people just saying, "Hey, I'll be there these days. Drop everything and host me." Like that's gross. I don't like that. That's Amanda's ego coming forward to judge, not but energetically it doesn't feel right. That's not right. I mean, if you were like coming through town, it was a last minute thing out of the blue, and then you text and say, "Hey, I'm in town," or "I'm gonna be happen to be in town on these days. Are you available to meet?" And then leave it up to the person to see if they're available to meet or to host you at their home or whatever the case may be. It's crazy. Again, I apologize. There's a lot of chaos going on down there, whatever the case may be. And because it's coming in at the beginning of this question, it already feels very chaotic, and I haven't even read one sentence yet. So hopefully we can tune this out. But let me get the timestamp. So we're at 140. Well, I didn't timestamp. Well, I was at like 117:19 for the first question, 140:39 for the second. Okay. Oh, I think they are home and let the dogs out because I hear Ruth now barking outside. Good. Okay, my family's home. I thought I registered that someone opened the door, but I was like in the thick of the reading there. Okay, back to the task at hand. So S's cousin just decided to come visit us with family on the long weekend from California. I felt it was a rash decision she took. Now she has to get her husband, mother-in-law, and both kids on this trip with her. She has not let us know if she has booked her tickets. I am not interested in hosting them. There you go. Also, wish this does not, oops, I lost my place, not go through. There are too many people. Oh, there are too much into people pleasing. Yeah, I have to be treating them like these royalties and keep working around them. Rather, I would like to go on a vacation to the beach, as you should be able to, right? Also, it has sent S into a frenzy to buy furniture again. Oh my gosh. Again, that's about people pleasing or trying to prove something. Because the furniture you have should be good enough if this cousin is part of your life and he loves them and all the things, right? Like it should be good enough. It shouldn't be this frenzy that has to come into play. He will not listen to me at all. I don't want to do anything from the point of pushing and rushing. Absolutely. Because that's not the feminine way, right? Absolutely. I also feel that if we go for a holiday, his incoming spirit will get a window to come in more into the physical vessel. Absolutely. Because yesterday I saw a lightning bolt come into his heart center as he was lying with his head in my lap. I had asked the incoming spirit to come in more as I held the field for the energy to be grounded and stable. And the last visit by his uncle and aunt has left me drained and exhausted. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm like, breathe. Let's breathe. It's a lot. Let's just tune in energetically and see if she is planning to follow through with booking this trip. Because it sounds like she has to get a lot of people on board. Her kids, in-laws, husband, get a whole bunch of people on board, book tickets, make plans. Like that's a process. But sometimes people can do it just to throw a wrench in your gears. So let's just see. Let's just see if this cousin's planned trip to where you're at from California is actually going to happen or manifest in Versha's current reality. It's still up in the air. It's not completely determined yet. So let's just see anything you need to know about this potential to tip things in your favor. The lightning bolt you were talking about, I was picturing this card. We got this card for Dr. Lupo, Taryn Lupo, earlier in the live stream. And look it's not just one thing of lightning, it's like 6. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 different strikes of lightning there. Like, that's no joke. Like, that's a so what's coming through here is there needs to be a collapse of what the current spirit transition from one spirit leaving and one spirit coming in for S. That's the priority here. Not to have to buy furniture for some cousin that he probably can't even stand himself, but yet is expecting you to host or, putting the bulk of maybe not so much the furniture stuff, but like the cooking, the cleaning, the being cordial. Because just being cordial, especially when you don't want to be cordial to people who have come into your home and, for lack of a better way to put it, infected your energy field because they're there and you don't want them there, it takes a significant amount of your life force energy to quote unquote put up with that. And that's something S will probably never understand because it doesn't affect him the same way it affects you at all, like not even close. So he doesn't understand why you throw a fit or drag your feet or just don't want to do these things. He doesn't get it and he never will get it from this current spirit aspect. Yeah, it's because S is in his head and being open. She came in Milwaukee when Kay was 15 months old or so. She gave me a very tough time. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, she has badmouthed me to so many people on his side of the family. Oh my gosh. So why would you want to invite that into your home? You wouldn't. Send a Christmas card and be cordial from afar if that's what you feel you have to do. But you should not have to allow this person into your home, your sanctuary, your home to host them. Like, you should not have to do that. And he, as your husband, who knows she's done these things, should feel like you're not going to violate my wife by coming into our home after you've done what you've done. But it's almost like he's just trying to people please and just be like, no, you're overreacting, Versha. Like, this is going to happen. It's like, no, how about not? Uh, yeah, and that's what came to me. It's all matrix reality at war with spirit, and it's all its might. That's exactly what it is. It's a war between what you want to have happen, which is your vacation, and them coming in and invading your space and making it the exact opposite of a healing beach vacation. The exact opposite. I mean, it can't be more clear as far as this. So you just tune into the timeline that you are looking for. Even if that looks like you putting beach photos as the background on your phone. I got my Boston there. You put some beach photos as the background of so every time you pick up your phone or, you put it up on a wall or whatever, every time you pick up your phone, it reminds you to tune into that reality. Or put a reminder on your phone, tune into the reality I want. Like 2-3 times a day, you put a little reminder and maybe you just write as the reminder, tune into the reality I want. And then that will remind you throughout the day or however often you have that alarm set or alert set to tune into the reality that you want. It can definitely help because where your attention goes, energy flows. Your intention is everything, all the things. Yeah. And he is so lost that he cannot see things for what it is. He knows everything, yet he is a butter factory. I had a dream of people coming on my birth on a train without permission. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. What you need and deserve and should expect right now is healing or peeling, for lack of a better way to put it. And to me, the healing, the peeling would be the beach vacation, not having to host a bunch of people that you already don't want in your home. Or at the very least, if they come to town but they don't stay with you, they're probably still going to stop by your house unless you guys make plans to meet somewhere out in town, like out to dinner or at a museum or, some sort of event or something. But then that still energetically almost puts that on you to have to try to plan something for them, and you don't even want them around or in your vicinity anyway. Yeah, I will start planning to go, looking for a hotel, even close. Yeah. And, if I just, again, it's still up in the air as to whether they will follow through. But look, what you deserve is that vacation that you're wanting. Ace of Wands is literally creating that reality to anchor it in as a potential. And then we have the 10 of Cups, which is emotional connection or fulfillment. It's like husband, wife, and daughter. Look at that. In the water. And I just heard that song, That's My Daughter in the Water. I don't know what song that is. Let me find it real quick. um and I won't read the lyrics or anything, but it's by Fran Mena. Oh, Lou Loudon Wainwright the third is who sings it, but the song is called Daughter. And look, they're on a beach. I mean, that's a younger child, obviously, than Kashfi, but I don't know if that there might be some inspiration, some lyrics, something about that that inspires you or gives you some advice or wisdom or guidance. Who knows exactly why that came through? But there it is. I don't think that specific song has ever come through in our live stream ever, but that's what this vacation could be, is to go to the beach. And if he's actively working against you being able to go to the beach, this lets you know that this is that spirit that's leaving, being influenced by the matrix and these entities to double down and try to instead make this cousin thing happen. But let's just see if there's anything else you need to know about this situation. I just heard forewarned is forearmed. So it's almost like them saying, hey, I think we might be planning that trip. At least it's not completely last minute to where you're caught off guard like the aunt and uncle were, at least. But it kind of gives you time to shift or morph the timeline or quantum leap to a timeline where you don't have to even deal with their BS or them being around. Anything else you need to know? Miss Sovereignty herself, the Queen of Wands, this is her determining, this is what I want, and this is what I expect, and this is what I'm going to get. As opposed to all this chaos, conflict, confrontation, like headbutting kind of energy. Should I put him in a matrix session with Raylene? Will it help? Again, I see it almost as it's not really going to do much more because there's so many entities and hooks into that spirit that it's so easily overtaken and overrun that it's like I see it could help, but it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough that it's going to show much of a difference. What I see the point of focus more being would be you being in communication with the spirit that's incoming and allow and again, like you were, his head in your lap, you're holding space for that new spirit to come in. That seems way more potent and powerful work at this time than having to pay Raylene to do something that's kind of a lost cause on someone who's on their way out, energetically speaking, if that makes sense. Let's just see anything else you need to know before we close out. And we're getting into Virgo's question next. Yeah, wow. Okay. It's almost like he has her head in the lap. I mean, they're standing up, so it's a little different, but there's a healing here that you can do with that other aspect coming in. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, about that bolt. It was the incoming spirit or healing bolt to open his heart. It feels like both. I just heard all of the above. Because a portal has been opened through the heart space for this one spirit that's there to exit stage left and a new one to come in. But the entities that have basically overrun, what I'm seeing is a zombie snail. Have you seen those? Yeah, look, alchemy. You can create the reality you want here. Zombie snail. Let me show you. This is very creepy. Okay. I want to find the video though. That's where the creep factor comes in. Video. You got to see this. It's so gross and creepy. So these snails, so birds will poop out the toxin parasite in their, poop, and then snails will drag themselves through this bird poop and pick up these parasites that will then hijack the whole body, especially in the brain of the snail. These are the larvae of this parasite have hijacked this snail and are using the physical vessel of the snail to perpetuate the cycle. Because then a bird will come in and eat that snail and then poop out the eggs and the whatever to keep the cycle going. That's what's energetically happening with the true spirit of S that's there, that's going to be leaving and on the way out, is so parasitically hijacked that the parasites are the ones running the show, not so much the spirit itself. Not to say that the spirit is harmed in any way, because when the spirit exits stage left of this matrix, there's no healing to be done because it all happened within this container of this false matrix. But what I'm seeing here is, ew, that person's touching it. That's on the palm of someone's hand. That is a no from me, dog. Oh, gross, creepy. Okay, I can't take any more of that. Yuck, no. But what I'm seeing energetically speaking with the entity interference from these are false, like AI entities. They have no grounding in reality or truth in any way, but they are basically pre-programmed matrix AI entities that have hooked into all of his thought processes, his belief systems, his subconscious mind, so much that it's acting as these zombie snail parasites that they're looking to just infect anything within their vicinity. And it's not going to go willingly. It's not that the spirit, because the spirit is ready to leave. Like we've really tuned in and established that. But it's the hooks that these parasites have into this spirit that wants to leave that will maybe are the ones hindering or preventing the process from having already happened, is what's coming through. So it's almost like any healing you're doing to or trying to do through Raylene or for yourself, through yourself for him, to that original spirit, it's like, holy cow, like this so much hijacked. But once that spirit is able to leave this realm, it's free. It's free from all that parasitic interference. I have chills. That's how we were yesterday. Just thought, oh, just that I was sitting and he was laying on the sofa. Wow. He has been coming to me every day to just hug. Oh, that's so good. Maybe that's when I can do the alchemy and ask the spirit to come in more, because I hold the ground with my own energy and I am presence and monad. Yes. That's when you can do that alchemy. And then the number 25 adds up to 7, which is tuning into your spiritual spark. And here she's holding, it's a crystal that's almost creating an orb around the higher heart chakra. And then she's holding a cup that is very see-through here. I just heard Lemurian codes. So I don't know if there's something about Lemurian codes or Lemuria that's coming up, but there's something about your Lemurian codes and your connection with this spirit coming in from Lemurian times that you can use to facilitate and help bring this forward. So it's not even that you need Raylene, you don't need me, you don't need anybody to be able to do this. It's just automatically happening. And in the moment, just like you sitting on the couch with his head in your lap, like you know what to do in the moment. It's not like you have to plan for anything or have some really complicated ritual or anything. Like you'll just, in the moment, when the moment hits, you'll know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, without having any kind of plan or preparation. It doesn't mean that the things that you do plan and prepare and the rituals you do don't have power. They absolutely do. But it's almost like more potent, more powerful when just on the fly, you just get this download to like, I think something just happened, or I think I can be the anchor to allow this, follow that gut instinct and allow that alchemy to happen. That's where a lot of power lies, is in the now moment. Yeah, so that's what I thought that may be. When we go to the beach, I will ask the ocean, the dolphins, the whales to step in and help energetically. I feel it will happen quickly if we go for vacation. And that's what we kind of tuned into a few weeks back now, maybe 2, 3, a month ago, at no longer than probably a month ago, when we really tuned in. It's like another, like that last vacation really acted as like a catalyst for something to allow that one new spirit to come in and anchor. And then a future potential vacation would help really get it going. I knew it's from Lemuria. I did the Lemurian activation with Carrie, and I know it was a heart line weaver in Lemuria. That's why the heart received a bolt. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. I have chills. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, that's what I did. Oh, that's what did come up in a reading before. I have chills. It did come up from Lemuria. Oh my god, my full body is chills on chills fire. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know what to do. That's beautiful. You know what to do. So just follow through when the moment or the intuition or the inspiration strikes to be able to do it. But you know, as well as I know, as well as probably S knows, it'd be in your family's best interest, instead of using that time to host the cousin, the in-laws, the husband, the kids, the extended, whoever that needs to come over, instead of going through all that noise and BS, going on a just low-key beach vacation, just the 3 of you, would be much more beneficial to the 3 of you than hosting this chaotic family that you already have kind of some past just not great vibes with, you know? Yeah, connect with the Lemurian energy. And it's very interesting because I get a lot of Lemurian energy around. This is something that downloaded to me a long time ago. There was a portal from wherever Lemuria is physically in this reality, or on like in the world, wherever it used to be or still is, depending how you see it. There is a portal from Lemuria to Siesta Key, Florida. Never been there, never really heard of it or anything about it until I got this download of exactly where it is. And this is before, I think there's like a TV show or something called Siesta Key. This was back in like 2015, 2016, 2017 when I had this realization about this. And I don't know how far Siesta Key, Florida is from you, but there are a lot of Lemurian codes. It's called Siesta Key. Let's see. And I did some research about it, and they actually have 99.999% clear quartz crystal sand at Siesta Key, Florida. That's how you spell it. And it's, if I remember correctly, it's kind of on the west side, kind of northwest side along the Gulf of Mexico, America, whatever we're calling it these days, part of Florida. If I remember correctly. Let's look it up. I'll show you on the map. Okay. Not saying you have to go there, but it's coming forward that okay. Yeah, it's funny because the second one is like planning a summer getaway to Siesta Key. Let's go to maps. Okay. So it's not on the north. But it is on that Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America side. But then there's also up near Panama City was another place that felt very much like downloads. And I've never been to any of these places. I barely know about a lot of these places. Oh, that's where your cousin is in Tampa. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And of course, depending on time of year, it can be kind of a hurricane prone area for sure, but it's definitely worth checking out. I mean, I've never been there, but yeah, Sarasota is right there as well. Yeah, you're right. So if you did visit Sarasota, you could just pop right down to Siesta Key. It's a little sandbar island looking place down there. Almost. Slightly. Yeah, it looks like it's a bit of a sandbar or an island from the main land there where Sarasota is. Lucky 777 smokes. That's hilarious. Uh, Anyway, I digress. But even if you're at Myrtle Beach or wherever, that's where Dr. Lupo was looking to be able to go because he's got property there or somewhere near there, I think. But yeah, all the places have white beach. I feel Lemurian codes active deep within. I want to go. I want to go there. It would just be so fun. I was planning for Panama City and Destin, Florida. And I think Destin is right next to Panama City, if I remember correctly. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. You should go. Let us know how it goes. That would be so cool. All right. Well, anyway, I digress. I should probably get into Virgo's reading, but I hope that helped at least let you know that you have some sway or some influence in determining if you have this fun beach vacation or if you have to entertain or provide that entertainment for random cousins that aren't even blood related to you that you don't even want at your home anyway, you know. Oh, you're so welcome anytime, anytime at all. All right. So Virgo, let's get into your question. And all right. Let's go over. She's here. Yay. Okay. I'm going to go over to your question here and see what we've got. if it will open for me. It's like, I'm not gonna open. I'm just gonna sit there and do nothing. All right, let's close out and come back in. Sometimes that's helpful. Maybe. Maybe we'll get in there by Sunday. Maybe. What is happening? It's just sitting. My phone is just freaking out. Let me literally close any and everything I can just to hopefully make this go through. Come on. Okay, let's go to activity. Okay, I gotta sign in again. Maybe. It says it's logging me in. I guess we'll see. Okay, come on. I'm feeling interference energy for sure. I'm feeling it. What's going on? Come on. Okay, I'm gonna close out again. Let's second time's a charm. Or maybe it emailed me. I can check that way too. So I got an email from Lupo and Versha only for whatever reason. But I could try to log into PayPal on my computer. So I might just go away from my screen for 2 seconds. Because yeah, it's just I don't know what it's doing. Bum, ba-da-dum. Okay, so PayPal. Okay. No, I get chills, and then my whole scalp just feels like it's itchy after I get chills. It's like residual chills. Okay. Log in and see what's up. I don't want to log in with Face or Touch ID. Just get me there with my password. That's all I'm asking. I don't want to continue with Touch ID. I just want to get there where I need to be. Come on. Close out. Log me in. Okay. Here we go. I found it. Okay. I'm logged in. So I'm Virgo in the chat. I wanted to ask how Tinu truly feels about me. He's moving soon, and I am really sad about it. Will I see him before he leaves? Okay. Aw, man. Yeah, it's always sad when someone's moving away that we just really resonate with or want to hang out with more or have a relationship or connection with. So let's just see if you'll be able to see him before he leaves. Moves away. Interesting. I see if you reach out and communicate, hey, before you go, like, let's get together, that you'll be able to make that happen. Absolutely. If you want to be able to see him before he leaves, absolutely. But communication will be key, especially from the feminine, which is you reaching out to say, hey, I want to, get it before you, leave. Want to just see what's up, hang out, whatever it is. No, you're totally fine. You're totally fine. Let's just see his feelings toward you. Tinu's intentions and feelings towards Sarah, aka Virgo. All right. Well, we have the Ten of Pentacles. He would see you as someone he could build a future with, or at least have in his life long term. This is very physical as far as like seeing someone, building a life with someone potentially. Let's just see emotionally how he's feeling towards you emotionally. Okay. It's interesting because Ten of Swords is like, this is saying that he doesn't want to lose that connection he has with you when he moves. So it's like it feels like there's like almost like a death in the energy that would be between you and him if he moves or when he moves, that is going to be hard or sad for him. So it'll feel like a loss for him to move away from you. And then the Two of Pentacles is there's confusion. Like there's part of him that's excited about the move and does want to make the move, but then there's another part of him that's like, maybe this isn't my best. So he's still kind of up in the air. Like, I'm saying most likely the move will happen. I do see that following through, but he does have very mixed feelings about it. As far as him emotionally, how he's feeling toward you emotionally. Wow. It's like new beginning. Like, let's see where things go. Like, let's allow, things to do what they need to do and see what happens. It's like this is a new adventure or a new beginning. Yeah, it does feel like it's definitely not like he moved for like better beaches or, the scenery. It's very much like utilitarian, like I have to move for a specific reason that's not personal so much. So work makes total sense with this energy that I'm feeling. Um, but as far as his emotional intention toward you is there's a new beginning here. Or okay, maybe I moved away, but that doesn't mean that we can't be in each other's lives, even if we're texting or doing Zoom meetings or we're traveling to meet each other once in a while or something like that. Like it feels to me like he doesn't want to lose that bright spot that you are in his life. As far as him trying to make things more potentially romantically official between you so that it can, let's just see if he has any intention to do that. To, how would I word that? Let's see. Does Tino have any intentions on elevating the connection or taking your connection to a higher level than it's already been? Let's just see if he has any intentions for that. It's very interesting because it's like a balance. It's almost like he's not seeing this move as like a potential. Yes, there's like the loss or the feeling of physically not being in the same place you are. But again, with him not wanting to lose out on that emotional connection he has with you. That is potential here with the temperance for even if it's like a long distance relationship or you guys remain in touch and then eventually he's able to move back to town or something to where I see like doors are not closing here. And in fact, if anything, it's leaving this big question mark like, well, what do you want to do? How do you want to proceed? Meaning you and him as well. So it's like he's not seeing this as like, okay, it's just for fully the end of our connection. I'll never see her again, hear from her, talk to her. None of that. Like that's not how he sees this. Wow. And then we have the star. So I guess anything could happen. Yes, we'll see you for Wednesday as well, since she's back and you got to go. We will see you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, Versha. Thanks for hanging out with us. um, so there is this at least wish that you are still in his life, not just from a distance, but that somehow paths can cross and you can have a relationship like that. That would be something that would be like a wish fulfillment for him. But there is part of him that does feel like you're somehow out of his league or he's not worthy of you in some way. That's coming through. Let's see why. Why is this? Is this from past trauma? What is this? Yeah. Well, past trauma for sure, or closing of cycles, or I just heard unfinished business. It's like, yeah, closing out a cycle, but like there's still words left unsaid. There's still activities left undone that we could do together. So it's almost like he's leaving on a cliffhanger that he would like to see move forward in some way. But that again is going to be determined on keeping in communication with each other before he leaves, after he leaves, if he ever does come back. All of these things will be kind of determining factors. It's not saying it's set in stone that you are soulmates and have to be together. It's not really coming through that way specifically, but it's definitely giving, if you want it and he's thinking about it, like something could happen here. But yeah, there's definitely a cycle he's closing out by this move. This is literally a detaching of physically the energy between you physically for him to have to move on. But that doesn't mean you can't communicate via text or however people communicate long distance these days, Zoom meetings or whatever. But yeah, he will feel the loss of you if he doesn't get to keep that connection. It will definitely, he may not realize it right now, like in the moment, because he's so busy with trying to figure out all the things that one has to do to be able to move away, secure a new place to live, potentially a different bank, or, where am I going to get my coffee in the morning? Like just all these little things that you don't even think of when you're making a move that are kind of taking up occupancy of his thought process and him just kind of stressing about things, worrying about things. But that doesn't mean that once he's settled, he'll never think of you again. No, it's like when the dust starts to settle, he's gonna be like, I really miss her. Like, I wish I didn't have to move. I wish I could go back. And, so, but if you're in communication with him through this process and you kind of make a point like, hey, before you leave town, I would love to like grab coffee or, get together, whatever works for you. And just see, if you guys can connect physically, like, meet in person or what have you. That would definitely help solidify things for him, that when you're not there, he will physically miss having you in his life as that connection. But if you're still connecting with him, like, through text or whatever, phone calls, whatever, that'll help ground him in like, wow, actually, I put all of it back and this came right back out. And then the 8 of Cups. It's like he's having to walk away right now, but that he's not going to let that hold him back from potentially still keeping some sort of connection going with you into the future, even if it's just for a while over text, because depending how far away he's leaving, or if he does travel back into town because he's got friends or family here where you're at, or whatever the case may be, that I see your paths crossing again, especially in the physical. But of course, if you're in communication with him back and forth throughout the whole process and into the future, of course, that'll help solidify you in his life, at the very least on an emotional and mental and even potentially spiritual level. If not, when he comes back into town, if he does, in a physical level, like just him being able to meet up, give him a hug, that kind of stuff. So I would say don't give up on the connection. Again, it may not be his top priority right now, but again, when there is that kind of feeling of missing, like something's missing from his life, it would definitely be that you're not there. So he'll kind of think about it like, wow, I really actually miss her. So if you can keep in communication with him, that looks like the best path forward, and to try to get together with him at least one more time before he moves away or leaves town for kind of at least the foreseeable future. It would be greatly in your benefit and his benefit. Because it'll let him know kind of what you mean to him as well. Yeah, because it's like he doesn't want to lose you completely. And he's almost like, he may have even kind of pulled his energy back recently, because he's almost just kind of impending, or that impending loss is already kind of hitting him. So he's like, well, if I can kind of start distancing myself already. Again, this is not something he's like thinking logically about. It's very subconscious. So if you've noticed some distance or lack of communication on his part, that's why. Because it'll hurt less if he has to leave and then you're not in his life anymore, is what that feels like. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way for him or for you. You can maintain that connection, that communication, even if physically he's not there, you're not where he's at, you could still maintain that connection for sure. Even if it doesn't go to the depth or level either of you want, in the meantime, it has the potential to be able to, or to set the stage to be able to. So I would say don't count it out. But it's not also like guaranteed your soulmate's going to live happily ever after. That's not a guarantee either, but it's definitely, doors are open here. This could happen if you guys want it. So I hope that helps, Sarah, and I'm wishing you the best in this transition of him leaving. That's always difficult to lose someone, that way, that, they're there and then they're not. It's kind of hard sometimes. So I'm wishing you the best with that whole transition there. All right. So, you're so welcome. Anytime, Sarah, aka Virgo, anytime. Thanks again for your donation. It's always a pleasure to read for you. So I am going to go to PayPal over here because we're going to get into Katie's message. Well, first let me timestamp. That's helpful. So 2/17/27. Okay, here we go. Go find Katie's question. So let's see. Here it is. So let me click there. Okay. Okay. Hello, Amanda. I would like a message from Stacy, please. I'm at work and will watch later. Thank you. Anytime. Okay. So let's get that message from Stacy for Katie. Fix my shirt. It's like falling off my shoulder. Okay. Here we go. So a message from Stacy to Katie. Anything specific that Stacy wants Katie to know at this time? about her life, about whatever. Okay. So yeah, she's feeling some lack. Again, there may be something going on with one of her children that she's just feeling this distance or lack of their love, or they've pulled their energy back, or she's had to pull her energy back. Even financially, that's coming through very strong yet again. And I know we were kind of tuning into this previously, like in messages from her to you previously. So there's something going on with that child, one of her children in their 20s, that's maybe having a bit of financial woes right now. And there's a lot of anxiety and stress. So it's almost like, energetically speaking, she's very much in the same boat as and just kind of life energy that she's currently in, this like season of life that she was previously, is what this feels like. So she's hasn't really taken much time to do anything fun for herself, or to even do a lot of self-care or any of that, because she's so worried about um helping this child financially, or the fact that she had to kind of cut that child off financially a little bit, or pull back on the amount that she was giving said child, because again, this kid was taking way too much from her. And she feels very bad, anxious, stressed, guilt about having to do that. And that's kind of taken over her kind of thought process in her life. But she did have to put her foot down, and there was some pretty clear communication from her to this kid that I can't do it anymore. Like, you're gonna have to figure something out. I can support you on a new path, but I can't keep being the path itself for you. Like, you gotta figure something out. Okay, so now that we've known where kind of she's at with the baseline of her energy, what does she specifically want Katie to know? What does Stacy want Katie to know? Aw, yeah, there's still this like want or wish for a deeper connection here. I mean, this is the marriage card, it's the home card, it's the contentment card, potentially signing of contracts card. There's a lot of things that could be incorporated with the Four of Wands, but at the root of the Four of Wands, it's about feeling secure and stable and content, not just emotionally, but like physically. So there is this feeling of missing having you around physically, but it almost is like, I know this is gonna sound bad, but it's almost like her having like thinking to reach out to you hasn't even crossed her mind, which is sad, because she thinks about you like as a friend, and like, oh man, I wish I could, you know, be around her. But then it doesn't like cross her mind or occur to her to be like, oh, actually, I have her contact information. Maybe I could reach out to her and then I could see it. Like, so it's like she thinks about you, but it doesn't cross her mind to actually reach out. As weird as that sounds, because before she kept thinking, I should reach out. And then this whole thing with her, the money troubles with one of the kids, and her just feeling kind of almost derailed with that. There's something also with her, kind of par for the course with her marriage that's going on, um, that is, again, kind of holding her back. Because, again, this is a marriage card. So, like, her husband's energy kind of holding her back or suppressing her from exploring the things that would bring her joy. Even if she's meeting up with you as a friend, it's like somehow energetically he's possessing her energy to not allow her to go do the things or spend time with the people that she enjoys to do or to be around. Um, and then she feels guilty if she does, like, even there's a specific family member that she may talk to or hang around a lot, that then her husband makes her feel guilty for having had conversations with this person or told them too much about something going on, or even just the fact that she left and had fun and is now happy when she comes home, and he's like, like very grumpy, like grumpy energy. And it's like the home is kind of this like tension that you could cut with a knife, as far as like her walking on eggshells, him being grumpy. Ugh, I wouldn't want to be that in that situation. But that's kind of like her baseline for day-to-day living, is that. And then like even if she has like one iota of a little bit of fun, he like somehow uses it against her or accuses her of not having fun with him, is what's really coming through. All right. So let's just see any other messages that need to come through from Stacy to Katie, specifically about Katie. Yeah, it's like heartbreaking that she can't just reach out to you. You guys make a fun friend date and go do something fun together. Like, it's heartbreaking to her that she can't just flow as far as flow with the people that make her feel good, that she makes feel good, and like it makes her sad. And then she kind of gets in her head and feels guilty, like if I was not lately so much, but before. And again, I see in the future she'll kind of come full circle and start thinking again, like it's already been so long since Katie gave me her contact information and I haven't reached out yet, that if I were to reach out now, I'd feel like a pill because like I should have reached out by now. And she might even be like, Stacy, who? So she's like in her head about it, or will be again in her head about it when it does occur to her that maybe I could reach out. Then she'll get in her head like, well, okay, it's been too long since I've seen her, that I've reached out, that da 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 da. That she's just, it's almost like she's in a victim mode, not in, I mean, she has every right to feel victimized by a lot of what's been going on with her kid, her husband, financial stuff, may even be just stress of finances, just her own personal finances, and potentially things with her house or her mortgage, if that's the case, of just, or even some sort of home repair, potential home repair. I'm seeing like a hot water heater, I'm seeing like a roof. Those might just be like example or indications, like there's some home repairs that need to be done, but they're kind of big money, because what's bigger money than say a hot water replacement, hot water heater replacement, or a roof replacement, or maybe like a central air replacement. Like these are big expenses when they go haywire or don't work properly. So there may be some home expenses that are pretty pricey that she's worried about. Either they've already broken down or they're kind of in the process of breaking down to where that money is going to have to be spent eventually. And she's just kind of stressing about, well, I'm going to have to work more, or where's this money coming from, or something like this. That's kind of been the catalyst really to stop enabling the child that's been taking a lot of the money, extra money. That I won't even say it's extra money, because it feels like very much that money could have gone to some certain home repairs or to pay off some sort of other debt, maybe potential credit card or car payment, something like this, that she's now having to kind of reshuffle. And now that she's not having to spend, I'm seeing like the number that just came, like $200 to this kid to do this, and then this amount to do that. And she's able to now funnel that into the home repair that needs to be done. But then we have the hermit card. So it's almost like she's going to be in this hermit phase. And this is not to like push people away, but this is more for her to really focus and reconnect with like, what the F do I want? Because I'm doing this for this one, and walking on eggshells over here and not doing what I want over there. And it's like, no, it's my time now. Damn it. I'm gonna do something fun for myself. But it may be very solitary things. Maybe she's doing something like at home, reading a good book, spending time in her own energy, just to like recalibrate and refigure out like what the F do I even want right now? Because I've been living my life so out of alignment and so for other people, that now I need to come back home to myself and figure out, what do I want, damn it. So that's kind of her current and into the near future kind of energy, as far as, her home life, her financials. Like we kind of went in all different directions in her life. And she's because it's like energetically, she's like, I normally don't overshare this much of my like personal information, but it's like she wants you to know at the very least that it's not you, it's her, as far as why she hasn't reached out or put as much effort in your direction as she should have, is really what's coming through. Because her intention was absolutely like, oh my gosh, I have Katie's contact information. Like, I'm going to contact her. We're going to hang out. It's going to be great. We're going to build a friendship. And then she just feels like she dropped the ball. But it wasn't because she's like, ew, Katie. No, nothing like that. It's very much life circumstances and just living out of alignment with what she truly wants has kind of derailed her good intentions, so to speak. So I hope that resonated for you, Katie, or at least brought some clarity or guidance as to what's going on in Stacy's world right now. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, I think, let me just double check PayPal that we are up to date with our donations. Yes, we are. Okay. Well, with that being said, I will close out Safari that just opened on accident. I will bid you adieu. Thanks again, you guys, so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and donations, and all the things. And I really do, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live on Wednesday for Woo Woo Wednesday live stream, we're going to be doing a Cosmic Question Corner, rain or shine. As long as I'm able to go live, we're going to be doing a Cosmic Questions Corner on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Mark your calendars, or just be here if you want, or you can watch the replay, whatever resonates most for you. And the Cosmic Question Corner is when we dive into a question that you guys have either asked in the past. We have a little jar with some questions in it already. I might ask for 1 or 2 new questions to be added to the jar, and we may pull that one on Wednesday, or we may pull one that's already in there. If you want to kind of know what the cosmic questions we've asked in the past, I do have a playlist of cosmic questions on my page here, or if you just go to my page and see the playlist tab, you can check out some of the past cosmic questions that we've answered. And I think maybe the most recent 1 or 2, I don't think I've labeled or timestamped. I need to go in and do that so you guys know what that cosmic question was without having to watch the whole dang thing. But I'm hoping once summer's over, I can kind of do some housekeeping here. Like, as you've noticed, all my thumbnails probably for the last month or so have been just a screenshot of part of the live stream. Like, that might be one of the screenshots. And it's not very pretty. It's not very cute. I'd rather, today I actually was able to put a thumbnail because I had my husband help me figure out on this computer, because I would go to change thumbnail, and you'd have to have a pop-up, and then you could go select the thumbnail that you want and then save it. It wasn't popping up at all, and I'm not a computer guy, so I asked him, and he enabled the pop-up to come up. So I found an old thumbnail of 1 card pull, and I put it up there from a while back. But I would like access, again, my main computer that I do all my like thumbnail creation and editing and stuff on is out there, not plugged in, just resting on its laurels for now until I figure out or get the kids completely solidified in their rooms, hopefully before school starts in like 2 weeks. But then I can get this little landing area set up. My mom is actually taking the treadmill that's out here that's kind of taking up the place where I'm going to have my little desk to be able to at least set up my desktop computer. That's the word I'm looking for. So that I can, create thumbnails and do any kind of editing I need to do, as far as if I do any other kind of YouTube that's not just live streams in the future, potentially, who knows. But yeah, it'd just be nice to have that resource back anyway. So yeah, you guys, I already did my outro. So I will see you guys on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Be there if you feel so inclined. Hi, Latoya. Yeah, we did all the free stuff earlier. I think about the first 34, 35 minutes, I did all the free questions. Usually when I do the free 1 card pull, it's kind of first come, first serve, and I usually only go about 20 minutes. But today I did about 34, and then I just had to stop because I was just, a lot of people were coming in, and I had a donation list that was starting to grow that I had to get to. So that's why I say be here early in the live stream, and then if you're here within about the first 20 minutes and you're like paying attention to the what the password is for the day, you're almost like 99.99999% guaranteed to get the reading, to get the 1 card pull, because we don't usually have a very lively hop-in live stream over here. So usually if you're here first 20 minutes, you're almost guaranteed to get that free reading. If you're here a little later, maybe not so much, just because I've already done it. So yeah, so be there early on the times that it's announced that I'm doing the free 1 card pull. But I also do free collective readings, free pick a cards. We do the Cosmic Questions Corner. Sometimes I do a giveaway and a drawing. Like, we kind of mix it up around here from time to time. So check it out next time. Just usually get here early so you kind of know what's going on, and then you'll be aware of what's happening. All right, you guys, peace, much love. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Bye.